You walk down the aisle of your local supermarket, perhaps a Tesco, a Sainsbury's, or an Asda, and you reach for that golden jar. It glows under the fluorescent lights, a symbol of nature, health, and purity. You trust it. You believe that inside that glass or plastic bear is the hard work of thousands of bees, foraging across meadows to bring you a natural sweetener. But the data suggests something horrifying. Recent investigations by the European Commission found that nearly half of all honey imported into the UK is fraudulent. It isn't honey at all. It is a sophisticated industrial syrup, engineered in factories to mimic the chemical signature of honey, just enough to pass basic tests, but devoid of any actual pollen or health benefits. But here is what is truly fascinating. This isn't just happening in shady back alley markets. These fake jars are sitting right now in your kitchen cupboard, disguised by household brand names and trusted supermarket labels. Let me show you how the gold on your toast is actually a lie. You're watching Protect Our Cart, defending your wallet from the shelf. To understand why 12 specific brands and product lines on UK shelves are essentially liquid fraud, we first have to understand the crime itself. This is not a simple case of a farmer watering down the milk. The UK is one of the world's largest importers of honey, yet we produce very little of it domestically compared to our consumption. The math simply does not add up. We are eating more honey than the bees are making. The gap is filled by massive imports, largely from China, where factories produce rice and beet syrups that are visually identical to honey. The first major offender on our list isn't a single niche company, but a ubiquitous presence in every British kitchen: the supermarket value range clear honey. Whether it is labeled as Tesco Stockwell, Asda Just Essentials, or Sainsbury's Hubbard's Food Store, these entry-level jars represent the absolute bottom of the barrel. When you see a jar of honey selling for less than £1 or hovering just over the 70p mark, you are witnessing an economic impossibility. Producing a single jar of real honey requires bees to visit 2 million flowers and fly 50,000 miles. The labor cost, the apiary maintenance, and the extraction process cannot physically be covered by 70p. These value ranges are almost statistically guaranteed to be adulterated syrups. They are flash heated to prevent crystallization, which kills all beneficial enzymes, and then bulked up with high fructose corn syrup. If you have this sitting in your pantry, you are essentially pouring sugar syrup on your porridge. This is not a brand name, but a labeling loophole used by major brands like Rouse and almost every supermarket private label. Look at the back of the jar. If you see this phrase, put it back. This label is the getaway car for honey fraud. It allows manufacturers to take a tiny teaspoon of legitimate honey from Spain or Hungary and mix it with a massive vat of adulterated, antibiotic-laden syrup from China. As long as there is a drop of European honey in the mix, they can legally slap that label on the jar. It tells you absolutely nothing about the origin, the safety, or the purity of the product. It is a legal gray area that the UK government has promised to tighten, but until they do, these blends remain the primary vehicle for fake honey entering the British market. Moving to number 3, we have the squeezy bottle phenomenon. While convenient, the plastic squeezy bottles sold under brands like Gale's and supermarket-owned brands are notorious for harboring adulterated product. The mechanics of a squeezy bottle require the honey to remain permanently liquid. Real honey crystallizes. It is a natural process. To keep the product in a permanent liquid state for the months it sits on a shelf, manufacturers subject it to resin technology and ultrafiltration. They strip out the microscopic particles that act as seeds for crystallization: pollen, wax, and propolis. By removing these, they remove the nutrient profile that makes honey a superfood. What is left is a sterile golden goo that will never set, but also never offer you any health benefits. If your honey never crystallizes, even after a year in the cupboard, it is not real honey. Number 4 is a specific type of deception targeting the health conscious, the acacia honey imposters. True acacia honey is expensive, light, and slow to crystallize. However, recent testing by UK trading standards has found that acacia honey is one of the most frequently faked types on the market. Brands selling budget acacia honey often dilute it with chemically lightened rice syrup. The flavor profile of acacia is naturally mild, which makes it incredibly easy to fake. A strong buckwheat or heather honey is hard to replicate because the flavor is complex and pungent. Acacia is sweet and subtle. Fraudsters know this. They take cheap syrup, add a dash of artificial flavoring, and sell it at a premium price point. Unless you are buying from a certified beekeeper or a brand with a traceable supply chain like Hilltop, though even they must be scrutinized, your supermarket acacia is likely a fabrication. The 5th trap is the organic import. You see the word organic and you assume safety. You assume rigorous testing. But in the world of global honey, organic certification is often just a piece of paper purchased alongside the syrup. There are brands selling organic honey in health food stores and major supermarkets like Waitrose and Ocado that source their product from regions with lax organic standards. If the honey comes from South America or Asia and claims to be organic, but sells for £4 a jar, be skeptical. True organic honey requires the bees to forage in an area where there are no pesticides for miles in every direction. In industrialized nations, such zones are rare. Much of the organic honey imported into the UK comes from areas where pesticide use is rampant, but the certification bodies are corrupt. You are paying a premium for a label that essentially means nothing once it crosses the border. Number 6 brings us to the most expensive fraud of all, the fake Manuka. Manuka honey from New Zealand is liquid gold, prized for its antibacterial properties. It can sell for 50, 60, even 100 pounds a jar. Because of this high price tag, it is the most counterfeited honey in the world. New Zealand produces roughly 1,700 tons of Manuka honey annually, yet 10,000 tons of Manuka honey are sold globally every year. Do the math. That means 4 out of every 5 jars of Manuka are fake. In the UK, you will see brands like Aldi's Specially Selected Manuka or generic pharmacy brands claiming high activity levels. Unless the jar carries the UMF, Unique Manuka Factor trademark, and a QR code that traces the batch back to the hive, you are likely buying clover honey mixed with a chemical additive like dihydroxyacetone to trick the testing equipment. Avoid any Manuka brand that uses terms like active, bioactive, or total activity instead of the regulated UMF or MGO ratings. These are marketing terms designed to confuse you. Let's talk about number 7, the local farm shop fake. This is a betrayal that hurts the most because you think you are supporting a small business. It looks authentic, but investigate the small print. Does it say produced in the UK or packed in the UK? There is a massive difference. Packed in the UK means they bought a drum of Chinese syrup, poured it into jars in a shed in Yorkshire, and slapped a rustic label on it. Real British beekeepers are legally required to put their address and lot numbers on the jar. If the label is vague or if the honey looks suspiciously clear and uniform, it is likely industrial bulk honey dressed up in a farmer's costume. Number 8 is the infused honey trap. You see these appearing more frequently: honey with chili, honey with truffle, honey with ginger. While some artisan producers do this well, many mass market brands use strong infusions to mask the taste of low-quality or spoiled honey. If a batch of honey starts to ferment or has a metallic taste from poor storage, a manufacturer can blast it with chili extract or artificial lemon flavor and sell it as a gourmet product. The infusion overpowers the delicate floral notes that would otherwise reveal the honey's poor quality. When you buy these products, you are often buying the waste product of the honey industry, repurposed and marked up as a luxury item. The 9th offender is the catering pack. If you shop at wholesalers like Costco or Booker's, or if you buy the large bulk tubs of honey for baking, you are almost certainly buying 100% syrup.
These baker's honey tubs are legally allowed to have a higher moisture content and often contain fermentation defects. They are designed for industrial cooking, where the taste is masked by sugar and flour. However, many budget brands repackage this industrial-grade sludge into smaller jars for retail sale. It has a distinct, metallic, almost burnt sugar taste that is nothing like the floral complexity of real honey. It is essentially glucose syrup with a honey tan. Number 10 is the raw honey that has been pasteurized. The term raw is not strictly regulated in the UK in the same way organic is. Many brands, including some health food store staples, label their jars as raw or unfiltered while still heating the honey to temperatures that destroy its biological activity. They do this to make it easier to pump into jars. True raw honey is solid, opaque, and difficult to spread. If you buy a jar labeled raw that is perfectly clear and runny, you are being lied to. It has been heated. The enzymes are dead. The label is a marketing gimmick, not a factual description of the process. Number 11 focuses on the kids' brands. These are the honeys marketed specifically for children, often in bear-shaped bottles or with cartoon characters on the label. Brands like Rouse's Squeezy Bear or supermarket equivalents target parents looking for a healthy alternative to sugar. However, these products are often the most heavily processed of all. Manufacturers assume that children will reject honey that has bits in it or a strong flavor, so they ultra-filter these honeys to the point of sterility. They remove all the pollen and flavor compounds, leaving a bland, sweet syrup that trains a child's palate to expect sugar, not honey. Furthermore, these products often have the highest levels of HMF, hydroxymethylfurfural, a compound that forms when honey is overheated. High levels of HMF are an indicator of low quality and heat damage. Finally, number 12, the vegan honey alternatives. While not claiming to be bee-made, these products sit right next to honey on the shelf and use deceptive imagery, bees, hives, flowers, to suggest they are a direct equivalent. Brands like bee-free or agave syrups marketed as honey alternatives are often just highly processed fructose syrups. While they are a valid choice for vegans, the deception lies in the health halo. They are often marketed as being healthier than sugar or honey, but they are metabolically disastrous, spiking blood sugar faster than table sugar. They are not fake honey in the sense of counterfeit, but they are fake in their promise of being a natural, healthy alternative. They are industrial starch derivatives, chemically closer to the high fructose corn syrup in a soda than to anything found in a hive. So why is this happening? Why are our shelves flooded with these 12 types of fraud? The answer lies in the economics of the hive.
Honey is the third most faked food in the world, behind milk and olive oil. The demand is infinite. The supply is finite. Bees are dying. Climate change is shortening the flowering season. Pesticides are weakening colonies. Real honey is becoming rarer and more expensive to produce, but the supermarkets refuse to raise the price. They know that the British consumer has been trained to expect a jar of honey to cost £2. If they put real British honey on the shelf at its true cost, £7 or £8 a jar, it wouldn't sell. So they turn a blind eye. They rely on the blend of EU and non-EU label to keep the price down and the shelves full. They rely on the fact that you, the consumer, have forgotten what real honey tastes like. Real honey burns the back of your throat. It smells like the specific flower it came from: heather, borage, clover. It changes texture with the seasons. It is alive. The stuff in the squeezy bottle is dead. It is a zombie product, keeping the appearance of honey while lacking its soul. The health implications of this are not just about sugar. When you buy these fake brands, you are potentially consuming hidden antibiotics. In China, beekeepers often use chloramphenicol, a powerful antibiotic, to keep bees alive in unsanitary industrial conditions. This antibiotic is banned in food production in the UK because it is linked to a rare blood disorder. While testing attempts to catch it, the honey launderers are smart. They use resin technology to filter out the antibiotic markers, but traces can remain. Furthermore, they are diluting the honey with rice syrup, which is high in arsenic and heavy metals due to the pollution in the groundwater where the rice is grown. You are not just getting ripped off, you are introducing a cocktail of unknown industrial byproducts into your body. The testing methods used by the UK government are outdated. The standard test, known as C4 sugar testing, looks for sugars that come from corn or cane plants. So the fraudsters switched to rice and beet syrups, which are C3 sugars, chemically identical to the sugars in honey. The standard test can't see them. It's like trying to catch a speeder with a camera that only sees red cars, so everyone starts driving blue cars. There is a better test called NMR, nuclear magnetic resonance, which creates a magnetic fingerprint of the honey. It is incredibly accurate. It is the test that revealed the 46% fraud rate. But it is expensive, and the UK supermarkets are not legally required to use it. They stick to the old cheap tests so they can claim due diligence while continuing to sell you syrup. This is a betrayal of the consumer, but it is also a death sentence for the British bee. When you buy the cheap, fake honey, you are undercutting the local beekeeper. A British beekeeper cannot compete with Chinese syrup selling for 90 pence a kilo. They go out of business. When they go out of business, their hives disappear.
When the hives disappear, our crops don't get pollinated. The apple orchards in Kent, the rapeseed fields in Lincolnshire, the strawberry polytunnels, they all rely on a healthy population of local bees. By purchasing the fake brands, you are directly funding the collapse of British agriculture. You are voting for a system that prioritizes cheap, fake sugar over the ecological stability of our own island. So, how do you navigate this minefield? How do you avoid the dirty dozen of honey types we've just listed? You have to become a detective in the aisle. First, ignore the front of the jar. The front is marketing. It is designed to lie to you. Turn it around. Look for the country of origin. If it lists a specific country, product of Spain, product of New Zealand, product of the UK, that is a good start. Specificity implies traceability. If it says blend of EU and non-EU honeys, put it down immediately. That is the red flag. Next, look at the price. If it seems too good to be true, it is. Real honey is a luxury product. It is difficult to make. Expect to pay at least £5 or £6 for a standard jar. Anything less is suspicious. Look for the texture. If you can, buy honey that has crystallized. Crystallization is a sign of purity. It means the pollen is still in there.
If you want clear honey, buy it from a local source where you can ask the beekeeper about their filtering process. Seek out the Red Tractor logo or the Soil Association Organic logo on British honey. These certifications have much stricter auditing processes than the generic organic labels on imported blends. And if you are buying Manuka, never buy it without the UMF trademark. But the ultimate solution is to step away from the supermarket entirely for your honey needs. The UK has a thriving community of local beekeepers. They are at farmers markets, they are in small delis, they are sometimes even selling from an honesty box at the end of their driveway. When you buy a jar of Ealing honey or Yorkshire heather honey directly from the person who tends the hives, you are getting a product that is chemically distinct from anything in a supermarket. It contains local pollens, which some studies suggest can help with hay fever. It contains live enzymes. It contains the specific terroir of your local area. It is a completely different substance. The 12 types of brands we discussed, the value jars, the squeezy bottles, the blends, the fake Manukas, are relying on your apathy. They are banking on the fact that you will grab the cheapest golden bottle and not ask questions. They are profiting from your trust. It is time to break that cycle. The next time you are in the aisle, remember the journey of that non-EU blend. Visualize the industrial vats, the rice syrup factories, the ultrafiltration machines stripping away nature. Then look at the price tag. Is it worth saving a pound to eat flavored sugar syrup?
The deception runs deep, and it is protected by layers of international trade law and corporate obfuscation. But the power to stop it lies in your hands, or rather, in your cart. By refusing to buy the blends, by rejecting the impossible price points, and by demanding transparency, you force the supermarkets to change. They track every sale. If the sales of value honey drop and the sales of British honey rise, they will adjust their supply chains. You are not just buying a spread for your toast, you are sending a signal. We have exposed the brands, the methods, and the science behind the fraud. The golden glow on the supermarket shelf is often a mirage, but now that you know how to see through it, you can find the real thing. Real honey is out there. It's sticky, it's messy, it crystallizes, and it costs a few quid more, but it is real. And in a world of industrial fakes, reality is worth paying for. This has been a deep dive into the sticky underworld of honey fraud. We've peeled back the label on the industry's worst-kept secrets. The 12 categories we've warned you about are prevalent, but they are not unavoidable. With vigilance, you can protect your health and support the bees that actually make the world turn. Don't let the supermarket sweet-talk you into buying a lie. Check the label, check the origin, and if in doubt, leave it on the shelf. The war for real food is fought one purchase at a time. Make yours count. Stay skeptical, stay informed, and keep your cart clean.